Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at something pretty interesting, I think. The hidden wisdom of the tarot as a map for spiritual growth, all according to the law of one. So have you ever thought about tarot cards as something more than just, predicting the future or fortune telling?
It's a very cool perspective, isn't it? I think most people think of tarot as, kind of you're going to find out what's going to happen to you in the future. But today we're using it more as a way to understand ourselves and our spiritual journeys.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so if anyone's listening and not familiar with the law of one, it's kind of like this. Imagine someone channeling messages from an extraterrestrial being named Ra.
Right.
Sounds a little out there.
I know.
But Ra's teachings are actually surprisingly insightful and offer a really unique perspective on spirituality and even, yes, the tarot.
And that's what we're doing today, right? Our deep dive, we're looking at excerpts from a document that specifically focuses on the tarot and the Law of One, as well as selections directly from the Law of One material itself. Books 2 through 5. Wow.
Yeah, we're talking ancient symbolism meets extraterrestrial wisdom.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Right.
Let's get into it. Where do we even begin with the tarot and spiritual growth?
Well, according to Ra, the structure of the tarot itself actually kind of mirrors how we evolve spiritually. The Major Arcana, those cards with names like the Magician and the High Priestess, those are really key here.
Yeah.
And the first 7 cards represent the evolution of the mind, while the next set cards, 8 through 14, represent the evolution of the body.
So the cards are kind of like stepping stones on a path, towards higher consciousness.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay, cool.
Each card symbolizes a stage or a challenge, a lesson to learn as we grow.
Awesome. All right, let's take a closer look at some of these cards then. I guess we have to start with the first one, right? The Magician.
Right.
What does Ra say about this mysterious figure?
Well, the Magician is all about conscious creation and free will.
That spark within us that allows us to manifest our desires into reality. Ra really emphasizes that we have the power to shape our lives.
So we're not just, passive passengers. We're actively creating our experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if we move to the second card, the High Priestess, she symbolizes the unconscious mind, that vast well of potential that we all have within. It's
Uh-huh.
about intuition, hidden knowledge, and tapping into a deeper wisdom.
Okay, so we have the conscious creator, the
Yeah.
Magician, and then the keeper of the unconscious wisdom, the High Priestess. I'm already seeing a fascinating dynamic here.
And that dynamic is essential to understanding how we evolve. According to Ra, it's all about a 3-step process.
Okay.
Catalyst, experience, and transformation.
Okay.
Think of it like this life throws you a curveball, a catalyst, right? It could be anything. It could be joy, it could be pain, it could be a challenge, it could be a surprise.
Because basically life happening.
Yes.
Okay.
But the key is how we experience and respond to that catalyst. Do we react with fear? Do we react with anger? Or do we react with curiosity and openness? And that choice we make leads to transformation, how we grow and change based on what life throws at us.
So the tarot is kind of like a visual representation of those experiences and transformations and kind of guiding us along the way.
Precisely. Think of the fool's journey through the Major Arcana. It
Yeah.
embodies this process of encountering challenges and ultimately transforming consciousness.
Okay.
And within that journey, we meet a cast of characters or archetypes.
Archetypes, like what do you mean?
Think of archetypes as fundamental building blocks of consciousness.
Okay.
Ra suggests that these are represented by the Major Arcana cards.
Yeah.
Each card acts like a mirror reflecting a different part of ourselves.
So by studying the cards, we can gain a better understanding of our own inner landscape. Our strengths, weaknesses, hidden potential, all that.
Exactly. It's all about self-discovery, not fortune-telling.
I like it.
And a key part of that self-discovery, according to the Law of One, is recognizing our free will. We have the power to choose how we respond to those catalysts, how we shape our experiences, and ultimately which path we take.
And that brings us to another crucial concept from the Law of One. Service to others versus service to self.
Yeah, this idea of polarity is central to both the tarot and Ra's teachings.
Okay.
And it suggests that we have a choice between a path of love, compassion, and unity that's service to others, or a path of fierce separation and control, which is service to self.
So it's like a fork in the road of our spiritual journey.
Exactly. And the beauty is we have the freedom to choose which path we walk.
Right.
There's no judgment here, just understanding that our choices have consequences and they shape our spiritual evolution.
It's like we're all actors in this grand cosmic playmaking choices that shape the unfolding drama.
And speaking of cosmic players, let's talk about an intriguing concept. Wanderers.
Oh.
Rod describes them as souls from higher densities who choose to incarnate on Earth to help with its spiritual evolution.
Hold on. Are we talking about extraterrestrial souls here? Like some of us listening might be from other planets?
It's a possibility, and it ties into the idea that we're all connected, part of a much larger web of consciousness.
Okay.
It also suggests that each of us has a unique role to play in this grand evolution, both individually and collectively.
Wow. Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Right.
So if we're all connected, and some of us might even be wanderers, where do we go from here? What does this mean for our own spiritual growth?
Well, it means we're not just on a personal journey, but we're part of something much bigger.
Yeah.
And to understand that journey further, we need to explore another key concept from Ra, the energy centers.
You mean chakras?
Yes, but Ra provides a unique perspective.
Okay.
They describe 7 energy centers, each corresponding to a specific color and function. And these centers act like filters, processing the energy that flows through us.
Filters. So how do they work?
Imagine each energy center like a colored lens that shapes how we see the world.
Okay.
The way we process experiences, our emotions, our beliefs, all of this affects the flow of energy through these centers.
So if we're holding on to negativity, fear, or limiting beliefs, those centers might become blocked or unbalanced.
Exactly. And that blockage can show up in different ways: physical issues, emotional imbalances, even feeling stuck spiritually.
That makes sense. So knowing all this, can we actually do something to balance those energy centers and, help ourselves grow?
Absolutely. That's where practices like meditation, energy healing, and yes, even working with the tarot can help.
So we're talking about like taking practical steps, using tools like the tarot to help us on our spiritual path. I'm really starting to see how this all ties together.
It's all connected, and remember, Ra emphasizes that the most powerful healing comes from within.
Yeah.
Tools like the tarot are guides helping us unlock that inner wisdom and power.
It's about empowerment, not just relying on something external to like fix us.
Right.
But how exactly can the tarot help with this process of balancing those energy centers, those chakras?
Well, a lot of tarot decks actually incorporate symbolism related to the chakra system. The colors associated with each card, for example, often align with the colors of the chakras.
So let's say I pull a card with a lot of blue. Could that be speaking to my throat chakra? The one associated with communication and expressing ourselves.
Exactly. You got it.
Wow.
And by reflecting on that card's symbolism, you might gain insights into what's going on in your throat chakra.
Okay.
Maybe there's a blockage, or maybe it's overactive. The tarot helps you become aware of it.
That's amazing. It's like the tarot becomes a tool for self-diagnosis, helping us pinpoint those energy imbalances that we might not even realize we have.
That's the beauty of it. It's not about predicting the future, but about understanding ourselves on a deeper level.
Yeah.
And from that understanding, we can work towards healing and balancing those energy centers.
It's like using the tarot as a map to navigate our inner world.
Exactly.
And it's not just about individual growth, right? We were talking about this bigger picture, this cosmic context. Rael mentioned something about a harvest happening on Earth.
Right. The harvest refers to a transition to a higher density of consciousness, a shift happening on a planetary scale. It's about Earth moving from 3rd density to 4th density, according to Ra.
Whoa, hold on. Densities, can we break that down for folks who might not be familiar with that term?
Of course, think of densities as levels of awareness or consciousness. It's not like a physical place, but a vibrational state. 3rd density is where we are now characterized by self-awareness and the choice between service to self or service to others. 4th density is about love and understanding a deeper connection to unity.
So this harvest, this shift to 4th density, that's about humanity as a whole evolving.
That's exactly it. And it's happening right now. We're in a transition period. And according to Ra, it's a time of heightened opportunities for growth, but also a time of intense catalyst.
Things feel pretty intense in the world right now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So how does the tarot fit into all of this? Can it help us navigate this big shift?
Absolutely. Remember how we talked about the tarot mirroring spiritual evolution? The challenges and lessons we see in the cards, we're likely to experience those in our lives too, maybe even more intensely during this transition.
So it's like the tarot is preparing us, giving us a glimpse of what we might face on a personal level as this harvest unfolds.
Yes, and it reminds us that we have the power to choose how we respond to those challenges.
Right.
We can resist change, hold on to fear, or we can embrace transformation and allow ourselves to be guided by a higher wisdom.
It's almost like those archetypes we talked about earlier. They're not just in the cards. They're all around us, playing out in the world.
You're getting it. And the law of one suggests that we're not alone in this process.
Um,
We're part of a web of consciousness, and there are forces, both seen and unseen, that can offer support.
that brings us back to that cosmic battle you mentioned earlier, the Confederation of Planets versus the Orion Group. Can you tell us more about those two forces?
Remember that concept of polarity we discussed? It plays out on a cosmic level, too. The Confederation of Planets represents service to others. Think of them as a collective of civilizations from different star systems who have chosen a path of love and unity. They're here to help us evolve, always respecting our free will.
And the Orion Group? They're the bad guys.
Well, it's not about good versus evil, but about different paths.
Oh.
The Orion Group represents service to self-seeking control and domination. They operate from a place of fear and separation.
So it's like a cosmic tug of war, and we're caught in the middle.
In a way, yes, but remember, we have free will. We choose which path to align with.
Right.
And Ross suggests that both the Confederation and the Orion Group have been interacting with humanity for a long time, offering guidance and influence.
That's a pretty heavy thought.
Hmm.
It's almost like this harvest, this planetary shift is part of this cosmic drama, and our choices matter more than ever.
That's the core message of the Law of One. Our choices matter. They shape our individual reality and contribute to the collective evolution of consciousness. And understanding these dynamics, these forces at play, can help us navigate this time with more awareness and intention.
So it's not just about looking inward, but also understanding the bigger picture, the cosmic context of our journey. The tarot, combined with the teachings of the Law of One, provides both a roadmap for inner growth and a glimpse into the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the power we hold within ourselves, while acknowledging we're part of something much larger. And as we move towards this harvest, this shift in consciousness, those insights become even more crucial.
This deep dive has given me a lot to process, that's for sure. Before we wrap up, I'm curious to hear your final thoughts on how the tarot viewed through the Law of One can truly be a map for spiritual growth.
It's about seeing the tarot as a tool for self-discovery, not fortune-telling. It's about understanding the archetypes within us and how they play out in our lives. It's about recognizing the power of free will and the importance of choosing a path of service to others. And it's about understanding that our individual journeys are interwoven with a larger cosmic tapestry.
I'm starting to see the tarot in a whole new light. Now, it's not just about predicting the future, but about understanding ourselves, our purpose, and our place in this grand evolution of consciousness. Yeah, it really is a powerful way of looking at the tarot and at life itself. It's not just about the cards, it's about the journey we're all on.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that each of us is a microcosm of the macrocosm. We have the entire universe within us represented by those archetypes in the tarot.
I love that. So as we wrap up our deep dive, is there anything else from the Law of One that connects to this idea of the tarot as a guide for spiritual growth?
Well, one thing that stands out is Rye's emphasis on personal experience. They say that the information they provide should never be taken as dogma. The real key is for each individual to seek their own truth, their own understanding.
So it's not about blindly believing everything Rye says, but using their teachings as a starting point, a catalyst for our own exploration.
Exactly. The Law of One is like a flashlight illuminating the path, but ultimately it's up to each of us to walk the path to experience it for ourselves.
And the tarot can be a valuable tool on that journey, right? Helping us navigate the twists and turns, the challenges and the triumphs.
It can be a source of guidance, offering insights into our strengths and weaknesses, our fears and aspirations.
It's like having a personal counselor always available to offer a different perspective.
And that brings me to a final thought-provoking question for you and for all our listeners. If the tarot truly reflects our inner landscape and each archetype represents a part of ourselves, which archetype speaks to you most strongly right now?
Ooh, that's a great one. I think I might need some time to ponder that. It's like asking which part of myself needs my attention right now.
Exactly. And what might that archetype be trying to teach you on your journey? What wisdom does it hold for you at this particular moment?
Those are some powerful questions to consider. I encourage all of you listening to take some time to reflect on those as well. Explore the tarot, revisit the Law of One material, and see what resonates with you.
Remember, this is just the beginning. The journey of self-discovery is ongoing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden wisdom of the tarot. We'll catch you next time for another adventure in knowledge and exploration.